Hello everyone, I'm Paul McGuire Grimes. The new Apple TV docuseries Mr. Scorsese is an intimate portrait of one of our greatest filmmakers. It feels like your own personal masterclass. All 5 episodes are now streaming and I'll talk about it. This is Paul's trip to the movies. Director Rebecca Miller is a smart choice to present this wide-ranging interview about Martin Scorsese's life and career. She's an accomplished director herself, so she knows the right kind of questions to dig into his past, to examine how his life informed the choices that he made in his work. She's also the daughter of acclaimed playwright Arthur Miller, and her husband is Daniel Day-Lewis, who has worked with Scorsese twice in The Age of Innocence and Gangs of New York. Now, he's profiled in this series along with many of the great actors Scorsese has worked with Robert De Niro, Jodie Foster, Leonardo DiCaprio, Sharon Stone, and many more. Like most biographical documentaries, this series takes your chronological approach. He recounts growing up in New York with a Catholic Italian family. He suffered from bad asthma as a child and really retreated to the movie theater in the summer where it was air conditioned so he could really breathe comfortably. There began his love affair with cinema, as he saw his life and family experiences reflected on screen. He was very attuned to what was going on in his neighborhood, from the mobsters to the devout Catholics. His memory recall and attention to detail from decades prior is really astonishing. He would make home movies with his friends, and as you know, his passion for storytelling has never stopped. The title, Mr. Scorsese, is one of reverence and respect, as if we're sitting in with our professor as he teaches us about the craft of filmmaking, whether it's setting up shots, storyboarding different ideas, or other tricks and techniques that he's used. But more importantly, he really discusses the why, with examples like pulling from his own childhood with Raging Bull, or the mob characters that he knew directly that would play a hand at really crafting the multiple movies that he made about gangsters. You get a better understanding of him being this underdog and why he's always kind of wrestling with, what we are as human beings. He's become the master of exploring the dark side of the human condition, as Leonardo DiCaprio really points out. Rebecca Miller isn't afraid to, pull out the darker moments of Scorsese's life, like his multiple failed marriages or the deep drug use that really took over his life. The late Robbie Robertson became a friend while making The Last Waltz, and recounts how Marty came close to death due to how bad his drug habits became. There's also a look at the unflinching nature of his kind of immoral characters like Travis Bickle, who would go on to inspire someone like John Hinckley Jr. There's the failure of movies like New York, New York, or the public outrage over The Last Temptation of Christ. Now, 5 hours may seem like a long time to discuss one subject, but it's so engrossing to watch him or his colleagues like editor Thelma Schoonmaker or writer Nicholas Pileggi really dive in deep on his work. When you watch the deep dives on Raging Bull or Goodfellas, you really wish that they would take that approach for every one of his films, but then this would be multiple seasons and not multiple episodes. You really understand the deeper why, and why movies are so important to him. There's this need for him to tell specific stories, even if it's decades later than maybe he originally intended. Anyone who has this interest in cinema needs to watch Mr. Scorsese and really learn from one of our greats. I'm giving Mr. Scorsese 4.5 out of 5 ticket stubs. If you like my review today, click subscribe on my YouTube channel. I have some other movie reviews, some celebrity interviews, and I would love to hear from you. Have you watched Mr. Scorsese? What are some of your favorite Scorsese movies? Mine is Taxi Driver or The Departed. I love watching both of them over and over again. So let me know in the comments. Follow me across social media at Paul's Movie Trip, and I'm also on Letterboxd and Patreon. I'm new to Patreon, so if you like my work, if you want to support me monetarily, go over to Patreon, become a subscriber, become a patron. I got different price points there. I would love to see you there. I'm doing some exclusive work for my Patreon subscribers, so check me out over there, and then go to my website, paulstriptothemovies.com, for even more reviews. Thank you so much for watching my review of Mr. Scorsese. This is Paul's Trip to the Movies.